everyone, welcome back. This is Lynn Wilson. Welcome to my kitchen. And today we're going to make a quick and easy ham and potato casserole. Okay, this is a breakfast meal, a lunch meal, a dinner meal, a brunch meal, an anytime meal, especially if you have bits and pieces and leftovers that you want to use up, you don't really feel like cooking, and you want something quick and easy and simple that's friendly for everybody. You can actually use this as a side dish, or you can use it as a main dish. Tonight it's our main dish. I'm making this with a side of green beans and some watermelon, and that's going to be our dinner. We are in the process of fall cleaning. We don't spring clean, we fall clean. And I am pulling out everything from cabinets, pulling things out, vacuuming behind. I'm tired, I don't feel like fussing, so come and join me in my kitchen. We're gonna make something simple and easy and quick. And next time you're around, maybe I'll invite you over for dinner and we can have this together. So we're gonna start off with, I had a bag of leftover ham in the freezer. I had made a big spiral ham, and I have several bags of this that I need to use up. Cleaning out the freezer, gotta make more room for fresh product. So I wanna clean this up. So you use about 2 cups of ham. So use what you have. If you have less, that's fine. You have more, that's fine too. Whatever you want to do. So we're going to just chop this up into just small bite-sized pieces. You chop it and make it as big or as little as you like. I don't like big chunks. I know some people like chunks of onion and chunks. I don't like chunks. I like smaller pieces. And I really think my whole family prefers it that way. So we're going to just chop this up. Nothing fancy. Don't worry about fussing and making it look so pretty, but so and I'm going to dump that in a bowl. Now I'm going to give you my version of what I'm doing, and then I'll explain another version which is probably closer to what you might find if you looked up this recipe. They recommend that you take a small onion and you dice it, and then you fry it up in the frying pan with a little oil, and add the ham to that and cook the ham and the onion until the onions are translucent. I don't like the texture of cooked onion in my food, and keep that one out. So I am using dried onion, as well as a lot of times you just might not have fresh onion. You know, you haven't been to the store, whatever, and you're kind of like, oh really, I don't have onion. It calls for fresh onion. You can always use dried onion. You just want to use less than more, because dried onion tends to have more of a powerful flavor to it. So we're going to put this in here. I like these little cutting boards. Got 2 of them for 99 cents. They have a grid on the back, so it helps with sliding. So I don't know if you can see that, the grid, okay? And then what I do is just a little tip. I punch a hole in it, I add a zip tie from the Dollar Tree, and I have Dollar Tree hooks inside of my kitchen cabinet, and I can then wash and dry and hang them up in the cabinet and always know where they are. So let me just cut up a little bit more ham. I might just have a little too much here, we'll see. I'm going to put it in the bowl and see what I think. So my son does not like, he's not a big ham eater, and he does not like potatoes unless it's in the form of French fries. And it's funny, he doesn't think French fries are potatoes. So this will be for me and my husband. So this is dinner tonight, and this will definitely be leftover lunch tomorrow, and probably 1 or 2 breakfasts along the way. So now if you're going to use it as a breakfast and use it like a leftovers for breakfast, what I would recommend then, let's see. Yeah, I think I'll use up the rest of the ham. I'll just cut it up and then we'll see. If you're going to use it for a breakfast, you can do some scrambled eggs on the side. You could, scramble up the eggs and actually just put them directly in, like kind of scramble them into the mixture once it's cooked, whatever you want. Just an idea. You can serve this maybe with some fresh strawberries on the side if you want to do it more like a brunch. Some of this is a little too fatty for me. I don't want all that in there. So we're going to just pick and choose. When it's your kitchen, you can do what you want. So again, this was a ham, a spiral ham I got for $9.99, which is at least in my area, a good deal. So I got a spiral ham. I cooked it in the crock pot, and we had 2 or 3 meals out of it. I made some soup out of it, split pea soup, and I made a ham and bean soup, and then I had enough left over to bag it up like this. But my freezer is getting full, and if you've watched any of my hauls, I had a friend twice now bring me food free, and we had to put that in the freezer. And now she's telling me she's coming by next week with more food. So I need to make sure I am using up food in my freezer, which is a good thing, so I can rotate stuff in and out. So, okay, let me just rinse my hands real quick. All right. The next thing I want to do, again, if you were doing this, you would have possibly sauteed onions in your frying pan with a little oil, and you would have added your ham until that's warmed up. I am not doing that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to, actually I think I'm going to do it right here on the plate. Can you see the potatoes here, Graham? Okay. We're going to pepper them up. Again, this is to taste, okay? The humidity around here is terrible, and I have rice in my salt, which helps with the salt not getting too moist, but I'll tell you, lately it's just been pretty crazy, and my salt is still sticking. Okay, and the other thing, again, I'm not using onions, fresh onions, I'm using dried onions, so I'm going to just use maybe a teaspoon, if even that. I kind of know just from my own experience of what I do and I don't like. I actually don't even think, I would say I'm going to use half a teaspoon. Put those back in there, shake the rest off. I would say a half a teaspoon of dried onion. I don't want this overpowered by the onion. You use what you want. You could use onion powder. If you prefer, you could even put some garlic powder in it. Whatever you think, whatever works for you guys, whatever your family likes. The one great thing about recipes is you start with your baseline recipe, and then after that, you just doctor it up to be whatever you want it to be. So we're going to stir up our potatoes and our ham just to kind of mix in the salt and pepper and the onion. Yeah, this is a good amount. So this is plenty for dinner, because I'm going to do a side of green beans and some watermelon, and then we'll have lunch tomorrow with this, and then probably 1 or 2 breakfasts, maybe with some toast or bagels on the side and some scrambled eggs. And whatever's left, I'll put it in a container in the freezer. So that's what it looks like, all mixed up. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a roux. Now, I assume you all know what a roux is and how to make a roux. But then again, I don't want to assume, because when I first started doing more and more cooking in the kitchen, I had no clue what things were. So we're going to make a roux, which consists of milk, flour, and butter. That's it. It's basically a white sauce that we're going to make. Everybody has their own little take on it. I'm going to show you what I do. It's very forgiving. It's too thick, you add more milk. It's too thin, you add more flour. And that's basically all there is to it. What you do want to make sure that you do is you want to, I'm using half a stick of butter. You want to make sure that your flour is basically cooked down, because you don't want like a raw taste of flour. So we're going to melt our butter, and then we're going to, I have my electric skillet here. Somebody thought this was vintage. I guess it looks vintage. It is not vintage. I bought this maybe a year ago on QVC. It's part of their Temptations collection. This is not a sales pitch, it's just information. You could see my bowl that I used is from Temptations, and my dishes, and they all match. I like the green. So we're going to put our butter in here. Can you see that okay? Let me lift it up so you can we're just melting the butter, all right? Then we're going to sprinkle 2 tablespoons of flour. So there's 1, 2. And again, everybody might do this a little different. This is Lynn's kitchen, so we're doing it Lynn's way, all right? So now we're going to you want to make sure you stir it quickly, because you don't want the flour to clump up so much that all of a sudden you got lumps. You might have a few lumps, especially when you're first starting out, but you don't want lumpy lumpies. That's, you know, looks kind of, it tastes like a bowl of flour. So there you go. See that? So browning up, it's smelling delicious because you've got the butter. And we're going to start off with a cup of milk. You can use regular milk, any kind of milk. You can even use cream if you wanted to. And you can use powdered milk that you've mixed up with your water. You could use evaporated milk, whatever you want. I would just not recommend chocolate milk. Haha. Okay. So we're going to just heat this up. Now I stirred in the milk. Lift it up for you. All right, so the butter and the flour is in here. We're going to stir this and we're going to thicken this up. So I've just turned this up and you will see it will thicken. And all of a sudden you'll be stirring and going, oh man, this is just never going to thicken up. It will. All of a sudden it'll just start, you'll just feel the whisk. Now I'm using a plastic whisk because I don't want this to stick on my, scrape on my skillet here, because this is a non-stick with a coating on it. Just stirring that up. It's just starting to heat up really good. Let's keep it going. Now what we're going to do to this is we are going to, after it thickens up, I'm going to add cheese to this. You can start to see it's just thickening up now. Yeah, there we go. There we go. It's starting to bubble. See that bubble? And then it's going to thicken up. Yep. See how, look at that. See how thick, how quick it got? I'm going to pour in the other half a cup of milk. There we go. You'll see how thick it is now. All right, there we go. So, I forget what I was just saying. I don't know. Well, whatever I was saying, you can let me know if I forgot to mention something. There we go. Okay, so now to this, we're going to add cheese. So we made a white sauce, and we're going to add cheese. Now, I did not add salt and pepper to this because I've already added salt and pepper to the potatoes. So you want about a cup of cheese. I'm using cheddar. Another one I've used on this, it's been a long time, I've used Swiss cheese, which is delicious, but I don't happen to have Swiss cheese on me. So we're going to use regular cheese. Look at that. Is that not great? So this is the same if you want to make homemade macaroni and cheese. This would be the same sauce that you would make. Look at that. All right, I'm going to unplug this. We are done with this. How awesome is that? Okay, so now we have a baking dish. And let me get my things out of the way here. So I have a baking dish here, and you can see the pattern is similar to my skillet. This is the Temptations collection. I love these. They bake so well. I did spray it down already with a cooking spray. This is the one you get from Aldi's. It's an excellent spray if you're looking for a good spray. So I've sprayed it down. I'm now adding the potatoes and the ham into the pan. So let's get all the goodness out of here. Every last bit counts, right? If you left any in the bowl, my grandmother used to say, oh, don't leave that in the bowl. That was the last bite I was going to have off my plate. And so she would make sure every little bit was taken out. Okay, so can you see that nicely? All right. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to unplug my frying pan, and we're going to pour this right over the top. And I don't honestly know if I'm going to use all of it. I'm going to just see. Let's see. Yeah, I think I will. I'm trying to see how thick through the layers it's coming. So this is good. I'm going to finish it off. Let me just pour the rest on here. Oh man, can you just imagine how yummy this is going to taste? Let me just get the last few spoons out of here. So bear with me as I scoop this out real quick. All right, hang in there. Again, that's what I think I was saying. I like to use Swiss cheese sometimes. That is really, really, really good. So you just sprinkle this on the top. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to put some breadcrumbs. You can use any kind of breadcrumbs you want. These are just basically a plain style breadcrumb. You can use Italian. You could even sprinkle Ritz crackers on the top if you want. Crumble them up, saltines, just crush them up. and sprinkle them on top. If you don't have breadcrumbs, you can make homemade breadcrumbs. A lot of times I do make homemade. This was on sale from one of the local butchers that we love, so I picked that up. And I keep my breadcrumbs in the freezer because I don't use them that often, and I like to keep them fresh and no bugs and all that good stuff. So I keep mine in the freezer. Okay, there we go. That's what it looks like. We're going to pop this in the oven for 25 minutes on 350, and I'll bring you back when it's done. Okay, we are back. You can see I've already dove into our dinner. Look at how delicious this is. I have my husband's plate ready to roll. We've got some watermelon green beans, and look at that. It's steaming delicious ham and cheese and potato casserole. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? See all that here? All that deliciousness? And here we go. This is a great tool. I know it's got the cheese on it. Scrape some of that off for you. This is a lasagna knife. If you can get your hands on one of these, they're great. They're nice and square. But when it comes to actually serving things like this, you can cut, scoop, and you're good to go. And it's got a nice wide footprint on it. And you can scoop it right up, and you can see how awesome and delicious this is. Thanks for stopping by. Again, this was potato, ham, and cheese casserole. I appreciate you coming. All my new subscribers, hello. Thank you for coming and visiting. I hope you continue to come by. Leave me some of those great comments. I love chatting with you guys on the comments. And we have a few more recipes up and coming and some other good things coming along. And that's all I can say for now. Thanks for coming. We'll catch you guys on the next video.